dokie. Let me see. Hopefully this is working. Okay. It shows that I'm live. The internet can totally see you now. That's what it says to me. So, make sure this is turned down. Everybody can see me. That's great. I've never done this before, so I am just learning, but I think I have everything set up the way it needs to be. But I literally have 0 time to film a podcast. I have zero time. It's working? Okay, good. Thanks, Jody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me put this. Still trying to like clean up my browser here so that I can see what I need to see. See how many people are watching. Hello, everybody who may be watching or not. I don't know. Oh, there's a few people. Hi, guys. I am so sorry. It has been 3 weeks. 3 weeks since I've been able to post a video, and it has just been absolute chaos in my house. For those who know me, know that I'm a mom. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 2 kids, and I try and run my business and do my podcast and do all the things because isn't that what parents do? So I am just like out of my mind these past couple weeks. Cece's been out of school and not in camp yet. She doesn't start camp till next week. So my time in the dye pots have been limited. So I haven't had a shop update. I recently just had a little sale, but I wanted to just pop on and say hey to you guys while I do some work. You want me to do some winding. Hello, Alicia. Hi. How are you? Can you guys hear me okay? Can you see me okay? I have some really like crazy setups going on. Oh, good to see you, Samantha. Hello, hello, hello. So right now I have a huge pile of yarn that you can't see here. I have yarn on the drying racks back there that needs to be fixed and like done and taking pictures, but right now I am winding up everything that I have from Sunday. I dyed up a bunch of yarn on Sunday, partially because I had a custom order for a few colorways for a fade, and so when I do a custom order, normally I just dye up a whole lot of it to get. Hello, hi Fran. Okay, good, thanks Jody. There's a little delay, I can tell now. I'm used to watching live streams, not necessarily doing them, so it's weird. So anyway, so I dyed up a whole lot of all the colors. So right now I am just taking the yarn that I've dyed that's dry, and I'm cutting my dye ties off, scanning them up, and getting rid of them. Yeah, right. I'm getting ready for pictures. So yeah, so I'm happy to entertain questions. I can share a little bit of what I've been working on in the past couple of weeks since you guys saw me last. Not a lot of dyeing has happened. Literally, this is the only dyeing I have done. I've been trying to catch up on watching podcasts too because I follow so many of you guys, and I just try to like keep up on what everybody's doing and see how. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. It's live. There's no editing. You can see all the times where I stumble over my words and knock things over, which happens quite a lot. I do knock a lot of things over when I'm filming, but so right now I'm scanning up some Courage. I don't know how well this is going to come out because this is just my webcam that's on my MacBook, so it was Courage, and then here's some Padfoot. Oh, so pretty. So pretty, so pretty. Yeah, is the tie off this one? I might have cut the tie off this one. Left that off. So I haven't done a ton, but I guess I have. Okay, so for the time span, I feel like I haven't done too much, but I really have done a lot in terms of like knitting and stuff. So I can show you guys. So the socks that I was working on, they both have heels now. These are Tyler's socks that I started, I don't know, a month ago, maybe a little more that I had shared. But this was in Jinx Yarns Rapture. I'm going to totally pull the needles out. but they have heels. Yay, 2 at a time. They're coming along quite nicely. I had to take a break from them because I started doing the heels, and because the kids have not been so nice about letting me do things alone and kind of concentrating, I was messing things up that were really simple. So like messing up where my short rows were going and which direction I was going. So I was like, I just had to put these down. So these took a little bit of a hiatus, but they're coming along quite nicely, I think. For those who have not seen these before, these are done 2 at a time. I'm doing them on a size 1 circular, fixed circular. This is an Addy Turbo Rockets or Sock Rockets or whatever it's called. 60 stitches, magic looped, obviously. And so I start working on one sock, and then I cast on the second sock, and then I put them both on the same set of needles. So now I have both socks going at the same time, and I'm a second sock syndrome victim person, I guess. So I often have to do things at the same time because otherwise nothing will happen, nothing will get finished. So those are still coming along. Cece's funny. She says to me, she goes, Daddy's going to be really surprised about those socks. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Daddy knows these socks have been sitting in this bag on the couch for quite some time now, so I don't think he's going to be surprised anymore. But, what else did I do? Oh, I blocked this shawl. So this was the shawl I did with Cece, the Easter yarn. So this is in just a DK weight yarn, and I did the Ardent pattern by Uninicalio, and this thing blocked out. It is, I can't even show you how large this is. It's larger than my wingspan, and I didn't even finish the pattern. I mean, I did use a heavier yarn, so it is going to be bigger, but look how nicely it all opened up. It really, everything kind of fell into place. It's amazing. As a crocheter, I never blocked anything. Really, like usually I'm stitching to gauge and everything looks good and has a good drape, but like when you knit and you block something, it is like the most satisfying thing ever, and I forget about it until I actually have a finished object. So this got blocked out, opened up really nicely. I got to even out the edges, so you can see this edge is a little bit kind of wonky, but I was able to kind of smooth it out. Thanks, Judy. It wasn't a hard stitch, but it just this kind of sat to the wayside while I was doing other things. You know, wrangling the children, keeping them from killing each other, that sort of thing. And then the other big project that I was working on that I only posted once to Instagram, this was a few weeks ago too, but I'm a little proud of this because I'm doing stuff that I've never done before. So I cast on an exploration station. I am late to this party, but I only just started knitting, like seriously knitting, last summer. So here's my progress. I can't show it stretched out because it will definitely fall off the needles. But I'm doing it in all my own hand-dyed yarns, which is, you know, I don't often stitch in my own yarns. All the things I normally edit out is like this struggle of showing things on camera. But you can see all the colors, and I've moved on to the brioche section, which is actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was very, 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 very scared of doing the brioche. So I got it all set, and I'll tell you the colors. So I just have a tonal, this is like a tonal brown black. It was an extra skein from one of my prongs dye-ups, so I did those prongs kits for the starting point MCAL, and so that was one of them, and it's the sparkle base, so you can see how incredibly sparkly it is. It's quite nice. And then my color A is Ron Weasley. I love this colorway. It's so nice. So that's this orange color. That's my color B. My color C, this green color was, or is, a one-of-a-kind which I probably could recreate. It's called Professor Sprout, and it is just like greens. It's pretty much like a green tonal almost. It's slightly variegated, but it's not as pronounced as other colors. And then this color D, is Lav Lav, so I wanted to do like the couple, so lavender brown and Ron Weasley. So those are the colors that I put into this, but I've just made it through the first 6 rows of brioche, so that's 12 rows total, because in brioche you're doing 1 row, you're doing it twice. So you're doing it in the first color, which is on the right side or the light side, and then the wrong side color. So you're knitting your main color, purling your secondary color, purling your main color, knitting your secondary color. So on each side, respectively. It's not as complicated. Once you're doing it, it's not as complicated as it could be. So that's really the big project that I've been working on, and this is my I'm going to knit so I don't kill my children, throw them under a bus somewhere, abandon them in the backyard. I don't know, like, it's been so hard, guys. I hate to complain, but it really has been hard. So these are the colors. I always end up making projects that look like this, but I really love how they pull together. So my colors for the brioche are Ron Weasley on the front and then Professor Sprout on the back. And I mainly did that because I was planning out how the colors would be paired together. So in the brioche section, it's these 2 colors. Then in the slip stitch section, I wanted to have a nice contrast. So I knew I wanted to have Lav Lav and Professor Sprout in the slip stitch, so we got some nice definition. And then in the nothing but knit section, it would be Ron and Lav, and they would go nicely together. So yeah, so that's the big project that I've been working on so far. It's coming along. It's keeping me occupied enough so that I don't lose myself too much in this summer. So back to cutting ties. Yeah. What have you guys been working on? How many folks are watching right now? 12 people? Say hi. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I don't bite. I'm really nice, I promise. I'm happy to entertain questions. I am happy to start a little conversation. I never get to really talk to you guys live. It's always in the comments section afterwards, which is nice, but it's nice to kind of say hi to everybody who's here. If you've been working on something cool, put it in the chat, and I'd love to talk about it. Or if you have a favorite color that you like to work with, let's talk about it. But here's Padfoot. I love Padfoot. It's like black, grayish, and navy speckles. Yeah. So this is pretty much what goes into everything that I do. It's a stage. So there's the dyeing stage, and then there's the prep stage where I have to take the ties off everything. Then there's doing all the photographing of the yarn, so taking all the pretty skeins that I've just wound up and putting them in my light box, taking a picture, which sounds like it would be really easy, but to be honest, the kids always interrupt me, so it ends up being like over the course of a few hours. Even if I only have to take 10 pictures, it ends up being like this long, drawn-out process. Right now, Cece is just watching some TV. And Tucker is asleep, so I'm very happy for that. And I'm happy to be getting some work done right now with you guys. Has anybody been doing spinning? I know that there's a couple spin things. There's Tour de Fleece that's happening right now. A lot of folks are participating in Tour de Fleece. I'm not, because I don't really have a ton of time to. I am spinning though. Adrian over on the Freakish Lemon podcast, if you watch him, he does sit and spin. So if you're a Star Wars fan, hey, hi, how are you guys? Sit and spin, Adrian over at Freakish Lemon. If you're into Star Wars, you should participate in his sit and spin thing on his Ravelry page. It's really easy. You just have to spin and watch something Star Wars related. So I have to do that. I still have yet to do it, but I'm going to, I swear. So Jody just asked, was it hard to learn knitting? I crochet everything. Knitted looks so gorgeous. So for me, I have been crocheting since I was around 13, so almost 20 years now, and I've picked up and put down knitting so many times. So what made it easy for me, because I found it hard, to be honest, when I was first starting. The thing that made it easy for me to learn knitting was to learn a technique that made it feel more like crochet. So since crochet was such a natural motion for me, I wanted to make sure that I was able to hold the yarn and treat the yarn as I have done with crochet. So if you've checked out the channel, my channel, I do have a video that's called Knitting Technique for Crocheters. No moving yarn forward in all capital letters. And it shows you how to do a continental knit with a Norwegian purl. And Norwegian purling, you don't move your yarn forward. So you keep your yarn at the back of your work how you would normally hold it with crochet. And you literally just hook your needle around the yarn and pull it through like a crochet stitch. And when I learned that last summer, it completely changed the game for me. I was like, this exists? I had no clue this exists. So I hope that's helpful. So you should definitely check out the video if you haven't checked it out already. I think knit looks gorgeous too. I find myself more and more knitting. I've converted my friend Amber into a knitter. She's also a crocheter, and she's like, I just don't feel like crocheting anymore, and now you're making me knit socks, and now I'm knitting socks 2 at a time. I'm like, I'm sorry, I love you. I knew you'd get addicted. So it's really addicting once you start knitting. Samantha asked, I'm making Rolly the Giraffe by Susan Claudino. Oh, how sweet. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love little stuffies. They're so cute. So cute. I would love to learn how to dye yarn. Where's the best place to learn and get started? So what I did when I first started, I just was going to dye for myself and do yarn for myself, and I think that that's the right way to start doing it, because dyeing yarn is fun, but it's not always for everyone, you know, and I think you'd probably love it if I'm thinking on you. So I would say start playing around, get some Knit Picks undyed yarn. You can buy it right off their website. They sell by the skein, so you don't have to buy, you know, a whole kilo or 2 kilos of yarn just to get stuff going. So buy some Knit Picks, start with food coloring and vinegar. That's the easiest way to start because you probably have some in your kitchen. And I watched, I think it was Chemknit's tutorials. She shows a lot of like space dyeing and doing different dye techniques just with food coloring. So how dyes break and how they uptake into the fiber. I learned a lot from her to begin. So I definitely suggest her channel. Hi, this is Rebecca from Chemknits. I was hearing her voice in my sleep. I was like obsessed with dyeing yarn, and I'm like, I swear to God, I am going to dye all the yarn and she will teach me. And I was like having dreams of her channel. This is Rebecca from Chemknits. So you should definitely check out Chemknits tutorials on YouTube. You're welcome, Jody. I hope you find that helpful. I hope that you get knitting and you can enjoy it, because there's so many ways to enjoy yarn and the fiber arts, and it's just when you learn a new skill that you really like, it ends up being just like a light bulb goes on and you find new inspiration. So if you find that you're burnt out on crochet or whatever, then you just find something else, and sometimes other things will click, like spinning or like needlepoint. I find a lot of people love needlepoint or weaving. You know, there's a lot that you can do with yarn, and especially if you love yarn and you just like hoard it like I do, you can find new love in other things too. It seems like a ton of work, so it may not be for me. I want to try and see if I like it. Oh, yeah. I love, yeah, Amanda, Chemknits is really fun. It's a lot of work. It is, but if you're dyeing for yourself and you're just doing it for fun, it doesn't feel like work, because you're just kind of relaxing and experimenting with colors, especially if you wanted a specific color. And like tonals are so easy to do. Like you literally just put the dye in the pot, put the yarn in the pot, heat it up, let it exhaust, and then rinse it, and you're done. So especially if you're looking for a color that you don't have, it's really easy just to pick up a skein of like Cascade 220 or something and then just dye it if you need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not so bad, but playing with colors is so fun. That's my favorite part about dyeing. I'm slowly getting a mountain of yarn. I hope this doesn't fall. Oh, I've also been making dryer balls. So in an effort to keep myself busy and not want to just run away from my life because my kids are crazy, I was trying to do things that would be helpful, like the kids could help me with. And Michael's had a sale. I do buy yarn from Michael's still. I don't just work in like indie dyed yarns. Michael's had a sale, and it was 40% off your entire order, including yarns and everything. So I'll answer that 1 second. So I ended up buying like literally 200 skeins of just wool, like the Patton's wool, and I made dryer balls, and the kids helped me with it, and it kind of kept them out of trouble for a little while, and they could throw the balls around and I wouldn't be mad, kind of things. Fran asks, did I do any dyeing with Kool-Aid? I did not dye with Kool-Aid, but I did dye with food coloring at first when I was learning, you know, different techniques. So that's similar to dyeing with Kool-Aid. The thing with Kool-Aid is it has citric acid in it already, which is what makes the powder so tart. That's citric acid. So when you dye with Kool-Aid, you might not have to add extra vinegar. I would add a little bit of vinegar if I'm dyeing with Kool-Aid. I really want to make Lolo's new hippo stuffy. I saw Amber's picture. So if you guys follow the Yarn Hoarder on Instagram, she just posted a picture of her test knitting for Lauren of Lolo Did It. She made a pattern of a hippo, and it is like the cutest hippo ever. Like, I almost died. I saw that today. I'm like, oh my goodness. I love it. It is so cute, and like, it's like disproportionately cute. It's not made to look like an anatomically correct hippo, but it's a hippo, and it's just adorable. And I love it, and I love it, and I love it. I love seeing everybody being creative. I do have a couple things to share, which I'm not going to be able to edit it in, but I might be able to add links in the description once this goes, well, I'm live now, but like when it goes, I don't know what it's called, archives onto YouTube, so like everybody can watch it later. My friend Anna, she is a small yarn dyer, but she is a brilliant designer. She is so good. So she's a knitter. She used to work over at Marblehead Knits, and she's the one who like convinced me that I could knit. And so she moved away and was so sad, and she just recently started dyeing yarn, but she's also been designing these shawls. So her Etsy shop is Silent Knits, Knits, and her I think her Ravelry username is also Silent Knits. Her name is Anna Burns, Burnes, A-N-N-A-H, yeah, Anna Burns. These are the things I usually edit out. But she's releasing a bunch of patterns, and she's offering free copies of them. So they're mostly like triangular, a little asymmetrical shawls, really simple looking knits. You should definitely go check her out. Let me write it in the chat here. Anna Burns, Silent Knits. I apologize if the typing is really loud. I'm typing like this. And then I also got, so she sent me one of, no, she didn't send me her pattern. This is what I always edit out. I bought the kit for the hippo. Oh my god, I know. I have to not buy the kit for it because I already buy too much stuff. Kim Brigio of Not Your Average Knit, she sent me her latest shawl pattern, which you should also check out. It's a semicircular shawl. I think it's called Who Wears the Crown, and it looks like it's done with one skein plus a few mini skeins. It looks really cool. It's a semicircular, and it has like big chunks of solid color and then like a small stripe of like a mini skein color, and it goes down and out like that, and it has more and more of the mini skeins as it goes out, which is kind of cool. So she sent me a copy of that, and so I wanted to at least cast it on and let you guys know how it goes. But I also got a pattern on Ravelry, which I'll look up right now, for these Harry Potter mittens, and she was offering a coupon. See, again, I haven't podcasted in 3 weeks, and I'll see if she can extend the coupon for you guys, but she sent me a coupon for you guys to get percentage off or a free pattern Poor Cece's coming in here right now while I'm doing this. The designer is, her username is Emolas79, and her pattern is Harry Potter mittens. Cece's here. Say hi.
What's that name?
What's whose name?
Their name.
We're streaming. We're live. So it is a pattern for Harry Potter mittens. She's giving a coupon for a 15% discount. The promo code is Littlebean, and the designer is Salome. So let me send you a link to the pattern. And it says until July 15th, so that's this weekend. But they are intricately designed Fair Isle. You need something to eat. You just ate.
I want something.
Why don't you go get a pudding?
No, I want to have snacks.
You don't want a chocolate pudding? These are all the things that I edit out. Literally, Cece comes into the room to interrupt a podcast. It takes me literally 2 hours to film a half-an-hour podcast. That's how much I get interrupted. And then it takes me like 2.5 hours or more to edit the footage and then upload it. It's crazy. All right, let me go to my library. So let's see. The code is Littlebean for 15% off. Mittens. Here they are. Harry Potter mittens. It is literally a portrait of Harry Potter. Not a joke. Let's see. Here they are. Alright, I'm going to put the link in the chat for you guys, and hopefully I remember to put this in the description box below. Let me see if I can show you what these look like on the screen, like during the stream here. Let's see, display capture. Ooh. Oops, oops. It's showing literally everything on my screen. Crop. Manual. Okay, this is not working right. This is not working right. I'm sorry if you guys are seeing all this. Cancel, 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 cancel. Take that away. Alright, that was a fail. That was a failure. Sorry. I literally am just trying to show you this portrait of Harry Potter. There we go. Like, look at this. Harry Potter. It is literally his face. It's his face. Like, who? How? How did she design this? I don't understand. But it's Emola's design, and it's Harry Potter mittens. And it's 15% off with the code Littlebean. So you should look them up on Ravelry. They are so cool looking. And I wish I was talented enough to do Fair Isle like that, because I just can't even. I just don't even know. So I'm sorry if you saw all that weird mirroring of my screen, and literally I don't know what I'm doing. I'm literally just learning as I go, trying to just make it work, because I'm so insanely busy. So yeah, I said hi in the chat. Hi to you. I don't know who is watching. I can't really see who is watching right now, but hello. If you have not yet said hello, welcome to this really disorganized, half-working live stream. Hopefully you all can hear me and see me okay. Oh, let me show you these dryer balls. So I was working on these dryer balls this week, and I just took the Patton's wool and combined a whole bunch of different colors to make them. So then once they were felted, I had Cece help me take them out. I put them in nylon stockings to felt them, and she had so much fun like pulling them out of the nylon stockings and then like throwing them into the box. I think I have like 150 dryer balls to go to the shop. So I'll put some of them in the shop, and then I think some of them I'm going to put locally I'll consign them locally because I like doing that. It's fun. It's fun. For those who are just joining, I am just doing some work. I am winding up some yarn to get ready for shop update this weekend and just chatting with you guys, answering questions. So if you have questions for me, please feel free to ask. I showed a couple of things that I had been working on over these past few weeks where I've been MIA. It's also my streamiversary, by the way. I have been podcasting, or Potterversary, whatever you want to call it. I started podcasting at the end of July last year, and I didn't even know if I was going to do it for real. I was like, is this even a thing? Like, do people do this? Before I was introduced into like the entire world of yarn and knitting and crochet and spinning podcasts. So I've been doing it for a year. So I think what I'm going to do, if you've made it this far, if you haven't abandoned me, I am going to open up a giveaway thread in the Ravelry group. Actually, I'll open up a few giveaway threads. I'll give away a few prizes because I have things here to give away. So some of the things you saw, I have a skein of yarn and a bat to give away from Misty Mountain Makers. I'm spinning on one of her bats right now, actually. I can show that to you. But I'll give away a bat of her fiber. It's timely too. Excuse my sweaty armpit. This is the one I'm giving away. It's called Beyond the Wall. You can't read that because this light here is just blazingly bright. But this is a bat of cordial, bamboo, superwash merino, tencel, and silken oils. It's 4.5 ounces. And so I'll give that away. And I'll also be, giving away a skein of her Hobbit Feet sock yarn. It's cordial. It's a cordial blend sock yarn. So I'll be giving away a skein of that. And then I also purchased for myself and also to give away two. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Amy. I'm going to give away 2 skeins in a set. So I purchased. Sorry. I need a big spoon. I'll get you a spoon in one moment. So I bought these with my own money because I'm crazy. I bought 1 set to keep and 1 set to give away. So I'm going to open a giveaway thread. These are the Wool & Vine Primrose Yarn Company collaborations. This is on their MCN bases. And I think it's called Hysteric and Reef Madness. So Reef Madness is the Wool & Vine and Hysteric is the Primrose Yarn Company. So I'm going to give one of these away as well for my Potterversary because that's what I was planning. Right now I'm going to go get Cecilia a spoon, so I'll be back in just 1 second because she cannot get a spoon by herself. You say hi?
Hi. I just got some pudding.
You got pudding?
Because it's a little bit of deep and crisp. And it's time to make it for time. It's time. And then it's a little bit of big.
You got a little bit of big? There you go. You enjoy that pudding. Enjoy the pudding. Anyway, so I'm going to give those things away for my streamiversary, which is like in the next couple of weeks. So it's 1 year ago. What is the date and time of my shop update? Usually I do shop updates at 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays, and I'm planning to do that this weekend as well. There are times where I do just post a few skeins for sale, but I usually announce it on Instagram before I do it. So if you don't follow me there, you should definitely follow along there. It's instagram.com/Littlebean and me, or Littlebean Crochet, Littlebean Crochet on Instagram. But I usually announce shop updates there, and I will announce any impromptu shop updates because sometimes that does happen if I know I'm not going to have time Saturdays. But usually Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on my Etsy shop, which I'm very frustrated with, by the way. Etsy has been like frustrating me lately. I love Etsy. I think it's a great place to browse where you can find all different types of yarn and different, you know, combining a whole bunch of different people. It's easy just to say hand-dyed yarn and just browse a bunch of new to you indie dyers and things. But as a user of Etsy in the back end, it's extremely frustrating because Etsy has glitches with their renewal service. So if you've ever sold on Etsy, say hi. If you've ever sold on Etsy, you'll know what I'm talking about. You can choose to either manually renew. Oh, pudding. You can choose to either manually renew or automatically renew. And Etsy defaults to automatically renew your listings. When one sells out, it will automatically renew it for you. So if you list 10 skeins of yarn, it will automatically renew the listing. I've had in the last 2 months, I think 2 or 3 times, Etsy has renewed a listing that should have been sold out. Like, the listing number was correct, everything was correct, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, you know, sorry, like keeps it listed, and then someone will purchase that skein, and then I have to be like, well, I don't have any left, and I don't know why Etsy did this. So I'm very sorry if that's happened to you. That just happened to me yesterday. I felt awful. I went to go grab the customer's skein of yarn, and I'm going into my inventory, which is pretty small at the moment because I haven't had time to dye. And so I'm looking, and I'm like, why? How? Etsy, what did you do? So I sent her a message, and I dyed her up a fresh batch of lav, which you'll see this batch of lav on there it is, drying in the back behind me. She's so cute, describing her pudding. My 4-year-old will make her own YouTube videos in her bedroom. Yeah, Cece's gonna be that kid because every time I'm filming something, she always comes in. Like, she literally always comes in, and then she has to describe whatever she's holding because she sees me do it with the yarn where I'm like, let's look at all the colorways. This is divination on everyday socks. So she comes in with her pen. This is a pen. I love my pen. My pen can write, you know, stuff like that. It's really adorable. Anyway, I'll stop complaining about Etsy. I've thought about just abandoning Etsy, but I find that it's really nice for organic sales, and at the moment, you know, I don't feel like I have a strong enough foothold on my own to just open up my own. Like, I have my own website, but to open up my own shop on my own website. You haven't experienced that yet. I don't know why. And it's done it to me, I want to say 3 or 4 times in the last few months, and it's been very frustrating. Or the other thing that will happen is if I do a shop update and there's an item that's really in demand, and because of the way Etsy's cart system works, it doesn't put your item on hold, so to speak, when you're purchasing it. So it's possible if something's in your cart, you can get cart jacked, or like somebody will purchase it out from underneath you. But there's like this small window of opportunity for Etsy to double sell a product. So when I had a shop update over Christmas, what happened was people were purchasing things all at the same time, and Etsy oversold one of my yarn kits that I put out with Lynn. And I don't have any, like, I only put up what was available for sale, so I couldn't create another one for her. So I sent her over to Lynn's shop and she got one. But it like double sold in the exact same moment. They both checked out at the exact same time, and like, that's so rare to happen. But anyway, that's what I had. Love the color of that yarn. Which yarn? This one? This one. These are the ones I'm scanning up right now. This one? Which color? Which one? Nadine, tell me. I love them all. This is Amortentia. This one is Beaubaton. And this one is Divination. Divination was a funny one. If you guys have been following along, you probably know the story of Divination. But it started out, so I have a color called the Lost Diadem, which is like a blue and gray colorway. And I had an oops skein where like the purple color had broken into a pink. So I had to over dye it, and that born Divination. It became this color. So there's some blue and purple and a blue tone gray and like a silver tone gray in there. That one, the middle one. This one, Beaubaton. I love this color. These are all going to go in the shop on Saturday. Right now I'm just doing all this prep work to take pictures I have to I have to make sure all the skeins look very pretty and perfect for the pictures, because it bothers me if I take a picture and all the strings are sticking out, so I'm very OCD with stuff like that. I see lots of blue colorways, yes. I haven't dyed a lot of blue colorways lately. I have been dyeing some greens and browns. I was dyeing Cunning, which is the Slytherin house colorway. I had that up. I think I have a skein or two of it left on Simple Sock, but it's a nice green and gray colorway for Slytherin house. And then I was dyeing a lot of prongs. I did a lot of the lavender brown colorway, which is a mauve and navy, which is this one. So one of these skeins is going out to a customer, but they're not 100% dry yet. I'm hoping they'll be dry before the end of the day so it can get into the mail for her. So this one is lav. This one is mauve and yellow and navy. And I have another one that is Luna, which is a very light pink, yellow, and a blue tone purple. And I was dyeing a lot of those too. Oh yeah, this is still kind of damp. I can't skein that. There we go. And then there's a special super secret sock blank drying in the background of this video. It's for my next collaboration with Lynn, which is coming up. Will you do? Of course I'm going to do a Ravenclaw colorway. I just have to wait for season to go to camp, so I have time to create and dye new things. I'm brewing up some ideas for Ravenclaw. What color scheme are you thinking? Are you thinking the black and yellow or the bronze and yellow for a Ravenclaw? Because there are different things. Luna's might be, oh, that's so, see, now you need to get Luna. Next time I dye it, I'll have to dye an extra one just for you. Luna is so cute. I love Luna. It's so pretty. Of course I'll do Ravenclaw. Of course I'll do a Ravenclaw colorway. I want to do some Game of Thrones colorway. Anybody watch Game of Thrones on here? Anybody a Game of Thrones fan? I am a super Game of Thrones fan, and I only have one colorway that I've ever dyed, which was a White Walker's colorway. I think I called it the Night's King. And it was more of a pooling color, not necessarily speckly, but it's a blue and gray type color. Yes, yes. I love this color. This is one of my favorites. So I'm going to dye that up, and I'd like to dye a couple more since the season will be happening, and I want to dye up some colors for, well, I'm going to dye my Stranger Things colors later in the summer because the new Stranger Things season is coming up soon. Yes, yes, yes. I see lots of yeses. I assume that's because you're all Game of Thrones fans. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I'm like wanting to binge watch all the seasons right now. Like literally just shut myself in a room. Again, I dropped something else. I'm sorry for that. Shut myself in a room for the next few days and just dye yarn and watch Game of Thrones. But I don't think I can do that. I have to have responsibility, you know what I'm saying? I used to love the book and the movie. So bronze and blue or silver and blue. Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah, I couldn't, yeah. I was thinking of, whatever, Hufflepuff. I was thinking of Hufflepuff, book and movie. So yeah, the only one that I have, the one that I have that's close right now for Ravenclaw is the Lost Diadem. And that, it looks like this color, except it's just the silver gray and the blue that's here. But I wanted to do one that was more bronzy for that, for like the official colorway, because I have Courage, which is the Gryffindor Gryffindor colorway, and then I have Cunning, so I was going to do one like that for Ravenclaw. Looking forward to Sunday night Stranger Things. Yes, yes, Amy, that is a great way to spend the weekend, shut in a room with yarn and Game of Thrones. So, but if you're in the mood for some Game of Thrones yarn, Sheena, a Casual Fashion Queen, she does some Game of Thrones colorways that are really cool, so you should definitely check her out if you're jonesing for it, because I don't have any right now in the shop. She's great. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's so nice. I love it. Love it. And I love how I love how the sparkle and the everyday sock take up color differently. It makes it really fun, even dyeing the same colors, but just doing it on the different bases, it makes it really interesting and fun. Hello to everyone who is new. I see we have about 20 people watching. Yay! I was worried nobody was going to come here to watch me do this. Like, I'm literally just sitting here trying to get work done while Tucker naps, and I was like, I don't have time to film a podcast, and I want to share the things I was working on and yarn with you guys, and I was so sad that nobody was going to join me. I'm almost done scanning all these. Isn't that fun? So I'd love to see your interpretation of Severus. He is one of my favorite characters too. I don't want to say he is my favorite character because I feel like his character is the most complex and developed character. I feel like his storyline really shines in the books, even more so than in the movies. Like, I really, I don't think you get as much of a sense of how Severus operates in the movies as you do the books. I mean, the detail in the books is astounding. So yeah, I would be very much keen to do a Severus Snape. Severus Snape. Dumbledore. Anybody see that? That's a really old throwback. Back in like E-Bombs World days. I'm gonna date myself there. Totally agree. Yes. They don't do him enough justice in the movie, and you just feel for him so much in the books. Like, once you find out, I'm not gonna spoil, but once you find out his motivations in the books, you just feel for him. You cannot help but love him. It's so funny to see the delay here, but it's so nice to chat with you guys. I'm so happy that I got to chat with some of you guys today because I've been feeling a little bit on an island in terms of like my social media presence and being able to chat with everyone, about things I like, which is yarn and Harry Potter and Game of Thrones and all that. Potterversary, yeah. Samantha, represent. It's so great. I can also show you guys one more thing before I go, because I'm hitting at 45 minutes, and I usually like to keep podcasts. trying around 30 minutes edited, which is usually like an hour and a half of footage cut down with all the interruptions and stuff. But today's been blissfully quiet. Let me show you this thing. Let's not blind you with my belly. So this yarn, I'll show you this. I purchased as part of a group buy. So in one of my yarn groups, there were some leftovers from a group buy, and I bought some 50/50 yak silk. It's like a light fingering heavy lace. It's probably around 600 yards per 100 grams. And so I started dyeing this up just for myself. Like I purchased this for myself, and I was like, well, I'll just dye up some tonals and I'll make like a sweater or a shawl just with like tonals. So I ended up with this nice purple red. The thing about this yarn, I was so frustrated. I know, right? I know, Shelby, right? This color came out so great, but I can't sell it because the yarn itself is so incredibly fragile that I had trouble working with it, dyeing it. And normally I don't have any trouble working with any type of yarn, even lighter weight yarns or whatever. I mean, this doesn't have any wool in it. It just has the yak and the silk. But for some reason, this broke so easily. I dyed up a tonal on it. Didn't realize how tight the ties were that were stock on the skein. Like when it came out of the mill, it has ties on it. And normally those ties are pretty loose to allow you to dye the yarn. And so I had to undo the ties, reskein it. Thank you so much, Jody. Reskein it. And in the process of doing that, I couldn't even put it onto my skein winder. I had to put it on the Swift, make it into a ball, then do it to the skein winder because the tension was so high, it kept breaking it. So there are some of these skeins that have like, I don't know, 6 or 7 knots in it where I had to like retie the yarn together so that I could actually finish dyeing it. It's so pretty. I mean, the color just came out so nice, and it's so incredibly soft, but it makes me question like the quality of this yarn, because it's just not, for the weight of the yarn, it's not spun consistently enough or tightly enough. And it makes me really sad because I wanted to crochet the Maritime Coast cardigan in this and wear it to Rhinebeck. 'Cause, by the way, I'm going to Rhinebeck this year. Another thing that I wanted to like make a big announcement. I'm going to go to Rhinebeck. But I don't even know if I'm going to be able to stitch with this because it is so fragile. So we'll have to see. I'll keep you guys posted on it. The colors, I mean, it's showing up very rich right now, and it is. I think it's shifting a little bit more purple than it is in real life. Yeah, it was so frustrating. It was one of those things where I was sitting there just trying to wind it, and I had to like break it up. I had 4 50-gram skeins of this, and it was just like, it took me like 2.5 hours to just reskein those, and normally it would take me 10 minutes because my skein winder is an automatic winder, so it just goes. But this was so fun to dye, which makes me love yak even more. It makes me want to carry yak regularly even more. But I wanted to use this as part of my Rhinebeck stuff. So, I don't know. I think I'm just going to end up wearing my Exploration Station shawl or my schlanket, my cozy schlanket to Rhinebeck, and have that be my Rhinebeck something or other. Am I doing the fest in Springfield? Is that Mass Sheep and Wool? I thought Mass Sheep and Wool was May. November. I don't know. I'll have to look. I'll have to look it up. I applied. So I applied for Indie Untangled, and I was not accepted. But it's literally one of the highest competition trunk shows, and that would have been like at Rhinebeck, the Indie Trunk Show that happens the night before Rhinebeck. That didn't go through, but that's okay. Hopefully next year I'll be putting my application in, but I don't know what the deadline is for the Springfield Festival because I never remember. I'm always like, oh yeah, I probably should do a festival or two, and then like by the time I'm thinking about it, it's like the deadline is passed 2 months ago. So I think in, New England Sheep and Wool. So we'll see. I'm gonna have to look it up. If I can, I will try to do it. I've never done a show before. I do have some stuff like gray walls and things that I can use as a setup. I started investing in them. But yeah, I probably will try, but I don't know when the deadline was or is for applications for that, because sometimes that's like 6 months out from a festival, so it should be soon. So I'll see if I can do it. I think that would be really fun because I want to meet some folks anyway. But yeah, so I'm definitely going to Rhinebeck, and I'm going to be there the whole weekend. I think I'll come in on Friday. I'm like group rooming with some folks from one of my yarn groups. So I'll be there if you'll be there, and we'll stand on the hill, wherever that is, to do podcast meetups and things. So I think that should be really fun. My husband's a little freaking out about it because he's going to have to be alone for a whole weekend with the kids. So, whoops. Sorry about that. I love you. But it'll be really fun. I was really hoping that I would be accepted for Indie Untangled, but I think my pull, so to speak, for the show would be much smaller than other folks who might apply to stuff like that. So, yeah. Ooh, what else do I have? Ouch. Oh, my butt. Did you just hear my butt come off the seat? It's like stuck. Ugh. I still have some of these available. I wanted to knit myself a pair of socks. This is some self-striping that I dyed. Fleur and Feathers. We live near New Orleans. Oh, it's so beautiful there. I hear it's so beautiful in New Orleans. Lynn from Sunshine and Bubblegum lives in Louisiana. I have a few other friends who live in Louisiana. Some of my husband's family is in Louisiana, but I still have some of these available. I think I have 4 kits left of this, and they're marked down right now. I was thinking about just separating them out. I'm not sure what to do because they've just been kind of sitting. It's a really nice summery colorway called Fleur. It's a self-striping colorway. For those who thought they missed it, you didn't miss it. It's still there. But yeah, I'm hoping to go to other fiber festivals. I have yet to go to one. I've gone to many like arts and crafts festivals and local festivals like the Salem Halloween stuff and all of that, which is local to me. I've been to some festivals in Western Mass, which were really fun, like little craft show festivals. So I definitely want to go to other, like, I'm excited to go to Rhinebeck, but like I want to go to other fiber festivals as well, like things like Stitches or the SSK Super Summer Knit Along. I'd like to go to that as well. I think that would be really fun. Is there anything in New Orleans, Louisiana, or close by in Louisiana that you could go to? I don't know what you consider to be close. New Englanders, we are often like, close is like 15 minutes or less. Anything more than like an hour or two of a drive, it's like a day trip or an overnight trip. So we have a very skewed perception of what is far or not far. I have lots of folks who I've talked to that are like, oh yeah, I drive 8 hours to go somewhere, and I'm like, oh, that's so far, you're not going to spend like a week there, like that's a long drive. And then I think about like the kids, I'm like, how am I going to ever stay in a car for that long with children? So, but yeah. Alright, so we're wrapping up onto an hour here. I got all my stuff reskeined. It's all very delicately balanced on this desk right now. So I just want to say thank you to you guys who are here, who have watched this little live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry I have not had a chance to do a proper podcast for you guys. I'm hoping that next week I'll be able to get back to my normal schedule of things where I can actually just do the podcast and just do my normal thing and like update you as normal as I can. But Cece starts camp next week, so I'll have 3 days. The dream for you is, I'm so like ADD right now. I'm just like, I can't even. ADD. Okay. The dream is Edinburgh Yarn Festival. Edinburgh Yarn Festival. How in New England is that? I usually edit those things out too. Awesome. Yeah, Edinburgh would be really fun. Clarissa Beth just went. I was living vicariously through Crochet Cakes here on YouTube. She and I chat a lot, and she went to Edinburgh this year, and I was like, oh, I just want to go. I want to go to England and Scotland and Ireland. Like, I want to go to like the UK and visit Ireland as well, and that's like on my bucket list of things to do in my life. But yeah, so thank you guys for coming. Thanks for watching. I'm so happy that I had some folks here to chat with while I did some work, and I'm glad I could share things with you. And if you're not watching this live, thank you again for watching. If you've made it this far, thanks so much. If you're liking what you see, make sure you hit the like button on the video, share it if you like it, and subscribe if you want to see more. YouTube is weird with things, so if you really want to get notifications of when I go live or when I upload a video, there's a little bell icon next to the subscribe button that you can hit that will give you a push notification to say like, hey, Kayleen's uploaded a video, you should come and watch it, you know, stuff like that. So, yeah, so I will see you guys soon. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Shop update will probably be Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern like it usually is. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. Just keep an eye out on Instagram. I know I've been quiet about all that stuff. This was fun. Oh no, Laura, no. You can always watch back or come next time. You missed a pudding chat with Cece. Cece came and showed her pudding on the screen.
I want to sit on your lap.
You want to sit on my lap? Okay, well we're going to say goodbye. We're saying goodbye right now. Can you say bye with me?
Bye.
Bye.